After a weekend raid, the former leader of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, is expected in court any minute now. We're breaking down the latest updates and reaction from lawmakers. And it looks like the Falcons will start over in 2026 as both head coach Raheem Morris and GM Terry Fontenot have been shown the door.
And for some of your neighborhoods, the fog has yet to lift. What that will do to your temperatures, that's next in my Fox 5 Storm Team forecast.
Fox 5 News at noon starts right now.
And let's start with the Falcons firings. Head coach Raheem Morris and general manager Terry Fontenot are out as big changes are on the way for the Atlanta Falcons. Thanks for joining us for your news at noon. I'm Tyler Fingert. Alex Whitler has the day off. The team announced the firings hours after the Falcons got their fourth win in a row to end the season. Now the team shifts its focus to finding new leaders. We have team coverage starting with Fox 5's Mark Teichner, who's outside Mercedes-Benz Stadium with more on the decision that many fans saw coming.
Well, today in the NFL parlance is what they call Black Monday, a day in which an awful lot of coaches as well as front office staff get fired when they're on teams that have disappointed. The Falcons, though, decided not to wait for Black Monday to strike. No, they did their firings last night.
I'm going to coach this football team as long as these allows me.
For Raheem Morris, that time is ended. Sunday night, the Atlanta Falcons fired head coach Morris as well as the team's general manager Terry Fontenot. The firings came after the Falcons yet again just missed the playoffs. In a statement, owner Arthur Blank said the Falcons needed new leadership in the roles. And while praising both Morris and Fontenot for their commitment, Blank said the results on the field have not met our expectations. The Falcons were 8-9 in both of Morris's years as head coach. After the Falcons' win over the Saints, but before the firings were announced, Morris addressed his job security.
You can't worry about those things, right? The boss sitting right there and, all those things. This is a business, what we do, man. I know it's, fun for you guys to talk about it, but, those decisions always be made at the proper time.
Fontenot was hired in 2021. The Falcons never made the playoffs during his tenure as GM. The team actually won its last 4 games this year, and a number of players said they wanted Morris back next season.
I love Coach Morris. Again, I said this since he came here. He's brought back my love for the game and the fun for the game as well, so I love him to death.
We went to bat for him for a reason. I feel like we finished the season for a reason, for each other, for coaches, players, everybody involved. That's what you do it for.
He hasn't lost the locker room. I think it's shown going 4-0 at the end of the season. So I think obviously it's when it doesn't matter, I guess, but it does matter for us because we want to win as much as games as possible.
The Falcons have hired 2 different firms. One of them is going to help with the search for a new head coach. The other is going to help with the search for a new general manager. At this point, no time frame has been given for either of those positions to be filled. Reporting from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown, I'm Mark Teichner, Fox 5 News.
Our team coverage continues with Fox 5's Miles Garrett. He joins us here in studio with more on the restructuring. Miles, this is obviously not entirely a shock, but one that unfortunately now is going to mean something hopefully new for the Falcons next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the shock maybe comes with how soon it was. Obviously, Mark just talked about the Black Monday aspect of this. The Falcons clearly with some big decisions to make in the coming weeks regarding the direction of the franchise following the firings of head coach Raheem Morris and general manager Terry Fontenot. And owner Arthur Blank hasn't stopped there. Within the last couple of hours, in a letter to the fans, Blank announced that Greg Beadles will be replacing Rich McKay as the new president and CEO of the team. This is the official statement released by Blank regarding that change. Blank elaborated further by saying, quote, Greg will continue oversight of all business affairs of the Falcons and collaborate closely with the new president of football to ensure all resources and operational support are working toward the goal of a winning product on the field. But going back to the head coach dilemma of Morris and GM Terry Fontenot, both of them let go after yet another losing season, which continues the streak of 8 years of missing the playoffs. So what now? Arthur Blank says the team will consult with ZRG Partners on the head coaching search, while Sportsology Group will assist in the search for a new general manager. But bringing things back to quarterback Matt Ryan, it's been reported the past few weeks that the team is considering bringing back the former MVP quarterback in a front office role. What that role might officially be still up for discussion, with even more changes potentially still on the horizon regarding the current management. But on the head coaching search, there are some names that have already popped up, such as Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, former Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski, who was fired this morning, former Cowboys and Packers head coach Mike McCarthy, and perhaps even current Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, who was a part of the Falcons staff as a quarterbacks coach with Matt Ryan when the team made the Super Bowl back in 2016. Some other names that have been floated around include current Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, as well as current Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. Both of them still with their respective teams, and other openings and firings still potentially on the horizon on this Black Monday. So the changes already being put in place, with Greg Beadles now taking over as president and CEO. NFL insider, though, Adam Schefter, reporting this morning that Matt Ryan is expected to be the new president of football operations. That report not officially confirmed as of yet, but these developments still ongoing as the day and the weeks play out, Tyler.
Yeah, let's hope this is good news for next season as we rebuild.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, Miles, thank you so much. A child was shot Sunday night in DeKalb County after police say an argument turned into gunfire. Officers say the shooting happened just before 7 p.m. on North Stone Mountain Lithonia Road near a McDonald's. Police say the child was hit when someone fired a gun during a dispute. Anyone with information is asked to send an anonymous tip through the DeKalb County Police Tip 411 app or by texting DKPD to 847-411. And this just in, the trial for the young woman who is accused of killing her mother and stepfather last February has been delayed. Prosecutors have charged Sarah Grace Patrick with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. Authorities found the bodies of Kristen and James Brock at their Carrollton home in February 2025. So far, we don't know when that trial will now take place. An emergency road closure has impacted Atlantans in the Summer Hill neighborhood after a sinkhole opened on Georgia Avenue near Connolly Street. The Department of Watershed Management says a broken sewer line caused the collapse. Crews have rerouted drivers around the area. And today is the final day in office for Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her departure from Congress comes after a major fallout with President Donald Trump, who she was critical of his administration's handling of the Epstein files. She also blasted him more recently on the U.S. covert military operation in Venezuela and the ousting of its leader. Speaking at Meet the Press yesterday, Greene said the move goes against the America First message that many voters supported. Greene argues the focus should be on jobs, housing, and health care at home. And switching gears now, time for a check of today's weather as we look across downtown Atlanta from our Fox 5 net cam. What a difference a few hours makes, considering when many woke up this morning, it was a foggy morning out there. Let's bring in Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Jonathan Stacy with a look at the forecast. I mean, I was out doing a run this morning and it was hard to see anything.
And it's 12:06 now in the afternoon. And would you believe me if I told you there were still some communities that are still swallowed up in the fog?
Wow.
Yes, we go out east for that. In fact, right now, Athens and many communities that surround the Clark, Oconee County areas are still dealing with thick fog that just refuses to let up. Here's a live look out via our weather stem camera, taking a look at Sanford Stadium there. If you can see it, that fog still once again hanging well over those building tops there across the University of UGA. That said, the campus there continuing to deal with fog and areas around it swallowed up by that fog. You can see here, it looks like the bullseye is focused on, once again, Clark, Oconee counties and counties that border the area going out to Hart County. And even as you move a little bit closer to Walton County, you're still dealing with some low visibilities. Visibilities have improved greatly across the area from Canton into Atlanta, but still hanging out to low visibilities across portions of Hall County. For example, there that 3 miles in Gainesville. And that's where you find a stark difference in the temperatures. We're at 60 in Atlanta, 61 for LaGrange, 50 in Thomaston, but also you're in the 40s from Gainesville to Athens. In fact, you're at 46 degrees in Athens and 48 in Gainesville. Temperatures really stunted by that cloud cover that just won't budge. In fact, here in town, we will break beyond the 50-degree mark, of course, and continue to climb, and we'll look for highs ultimately in the low 60s. But where that fall continues to abide, I don't think you'll be able to get into the 60s today. In fact, Athens, I'll hold you at 59 degrees. Hopefully you'll get a little bit of sunshine, but I don't think you'll be able to play catch up even as you do. 63 here in town, 60 Carrollton, 66 for Rome, and this is just the beginning of a temperature takeoff. We're back down into the 40s tonight, but then tomorrow we're back into the 60s, but then there's a chance for some wet weather. Not a big chance, a small chance, but a big change in the temperatures by midweek. I'm tracking all the numbers that you need to know. That's in my complete Fox 5 Storm Team forecast. Tyler?
Jonathan, thank you. New at noon, we just got an update on new flu numbers in our state. According to the CDC, 1/3 of all flu tests are positive nationwide. The new flu variant, dubbed the super flu, is causing the most sickness, according to the new report. Georgia's flu activity is considered very high, with a major surge underway. The holiday season likely contributing to the flu issues. We'll have more coming up later throughout the day. And still ahead here on the news at noon, ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife are making their first court appearance in federal court in New York. We're live with the latest. And with cold winter temperatures keeping home heating units running, medical experts discuss the dangers of carbon monoxide poisoning. We'll be right back.